Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. Thanks for joining us for another video. There's plenty of Manchester United chat to get into today, so get involved in the chat, Reds, because we want to know your opinions on today's talking points, and we will discuss some of your comments throughout today's video. Erik Ten Hag staying, even a new extended contract in the pipeline. Everything's rosy in the garden again.
I'm happy.
I'm happy. Are you happy out there? Let us know in the comments.
Well, when I heard the news this morning, three things came to mind. One, absolutely delighted. It's what we wanted. We wanted Erik Ten Hag here for another year. Get this turnaround, get this deadwood sorted. He's on a mission. That's what I wanted, and we've got it. I was delighted. On the other one, I was shocked. Now, I mean absolutely shocked, okay? I thought he was a dead man walking, meeting other managers, undermined Erik Ten Hag. The turnaround, unbelievable. Absolutely shocked, right? But delighted at the same time. No way, the third one I thought, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, no way can he sugarcoat this. This is a massive misstep. But when I say that, I also thought to myself, let's put it to bed. Let's not continue attacking Jim Ratcliffe, right, for this massive misstep and undermining Erik Ten Hag, because that's what it did. So at the end of the day, they were my first three thoughts this morning when I seen the news. What's
the biggest one for you that is actually staying next season? Or is it the fact that they're going to give him an extended contract?
Well, I think there was no way they could keep Erik Ten Hag, and I said it the other day, if they did keep him by some miracle, and it's happened, that they couldn't bring him back without giving him a contract extension, and that's what they've had to do. To me, it would have been lunacy bringing him back, because the toxicity out there would have been just like every game, every day, attacking Ten Hag, attacking Man United. So it's the right thing to do. And at the end of the day, they're giving him a new contract, makes him stronger. And that's what we want as fans, especially in that dressing room. Yeah. Especially in that dressing room with these players. And that manager after manager has been undermined. Now, by giving him this contract, makes him stronger. So there's a few wooded people in there.
Maybe some power players to come in the future.
Massive power plays.
But actually thinking of that, do you think, because there's a lot of talk about him going forward, the manager having like a restricted role to do with transfers, having like the final say. It'll be more the guys in the suits who are going to have more of the final say now with transfers. Or do you think that's just a load of rubbish? Do you think he will have overall control with transfers?
I don't know. I think there's going to be some right PR coming out, and I couldn't tell you. I couldn't even think what's going to go on with Erik Ten Hag and how he's going to have control, especially when you look at the confirmed managers he was talking to, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. These were managers, right, what want to manage and have control, and they were in the minds of Sir Jim Ratcliffe to replace Erik Ten Hag. So we always thought, when they came in and the way they spoke, they wanted a coach, and they've looked for people completely different than what they've said. Like I say, big misstep. Just got to move forward now.
There's people in the chat actually happy that you should be able to get some sleep now this week after all that news around Erik Ten Hag. Lee Jones, cheers for your super chat. He says, time to move on now and get behind the manager.
No, that's exactly right. Time to move on. Get behind the manager. He's here. He's getting an extended contract. How long that is, I don't know. But that puts him in a power base where he's in charge. You have to get behind the manager. The problem is the media will not do that. Okay, they have been relentless, okay, and in some cases, absolutely disgraceful. Go back to the Gary Lineker talking to Erik Ten Hag after the cup final. That was disgraceful. But the day before the cup final, it came out, he's getting sacked after the cup final regardless. Well, I look at that cup final, I look at that game, I look at the tactics. Everything about the game was absolutely superb. And it put a spanner, as far as I'm concerned, put a spanner in the works for Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Because I've looked at it, I've gone back and looked at it today, and I thought to myself, after the semi-final, that was bad PR, bad media, everything. It just came at United. But I think the turning point where I do believe that Erik ten Hag and the Ineos had been working together, looking forward to the summer, was the Crystal Palace away game. I thought they've just gone, nothing's changing here. It's going to be bad, this cup final.
You got beat 4-0.
When we got beat 4-0. I think the semi-final, right, they could sort of smooth over that because we was in a final. But I think when it came to that Crystal Palace game, right, they've looked at it and gone, this is terrible. And it was terrible. But the good thing about that Crystal Palace game was the fans, how they stood there and got right behind Erik ten Hag. Now, I'm here every home game. Every home game. I go to a couple of away games if I can. This year, not been able to do it. But I have not found any dissent about Erik ten Hag from the match going red. And I think they're going to get right behind him now. And I think that's what we have to do. Unfortunately, there's some United fans who love the toxicity. That's what they thrive on. And they won't change. And at the end of the day, you've got to get behind the manager. And people I know, people I see are going to do that. It's just the media now. Absolutely disgraceful. And by the way, I woke up this morning. I didn't hear it last night. I did have a good sleep, okay? Because it's been going on for 3 weeks, this.
All right, so when that broke last night, you was actually asleep?
I was in bed, snoring, yeah. Snoring my head off. The dog.
That was early as well, wasn't it? Was it about 10 o'clock or something the news broke last night? Just before that?
I think it might have been after that. And I think I was in bed for half an hour. I had a lot to do today, a lot of personal things and that to do there, a lot of visits and whatever. So I went to bed early. I wasn't waiting up for news. I've been waiting up for 3 weeks. I thought, get an early night and look what happens. Ten Hag gets his contract and all the news is here. And there's me sleeping. But hey, that's sod's law.
There's a lot of people mentioning in the chat about the journalists and the way it's been going.
Yes.
Well, they've been actually going after Erik ten Hag, especially in the lead up to that cup final. Some people are saying that some of these journalists owe him an apology, but I can't ever see that happening.
No, if you look at Erik ten,
they went blinded here as well. Actually, let me just get it up on screen.
Go
on. It was Jacob Steinberg, and it was the day before the actual cup final on the Friday, and his title was, and it said it in the article as well, that Manchester United decide to sack Erik ten Hag regardless of the cup final outcome.
Well, I'll put it this way.
How silly does he look now?
Well, it's not silly, okay, right? Because what he did, he undermined Manchester United players, right? As if to say, oh, he's off. He undermined everything, the preparations, everything about that cup final. Now, full marks to them players and Erik ten Hag and the coaching staff to back that off. That was horrendous. Every news outlet that night, the cup final day and afterwards was absolutely piling in through that.
Yeah, that's all they had on the mind, the journalists, the media.
Yeah.
Questions about his future constantly.
Yeah.
Nothing about any players, whether they're available or not. All they were discussing is his future, might have to happen after the game. No,
but for that to come out the day before, that was to ruin Manchester United's chances of winning the FA Cup, okay? Because everyone would have said, if we'd have played badly and got beat, well, the players knew he was getting sacked. There was no motivation for the manager, this, that and the other. So there would have been a full line, right, of like excuses and all that from players, okay? How Erik ten Hag got them players to concentrate on that cup final. After that, the most horrendous, horrific piece of journalism, okay? The man should be stripped of his journalism licence, okay, after that. But ten Hag, I don't know how he did it, to be honest with you, because it was... I remember watching the players at Stockport Railway Station. I think it was Stockport Railway Station. When the news came out, they were all on the phones. No one talking, all looking at the latest news, what was coming out and everything. So fair play to Erik ten Hag. I don't think anyone else could have done what he did by concentrating their minds.
Yeah, some great chat actually going on in there, and a lot of them agree as well about the journalists, all the hate surrounding Erik ten Hag and his future. But what do you think the overall feeling, the mood will be in the actual playing squad, though? The overall feeling. Obviously, you're always going to get one or two players who are always disgruntled if they're not in the team, etc. Goes on everywhere. But what's the overall feeling, do you think?
I think you have to look at the young players You have to look at Martinez. You have to look at Bruno. Bruno was flying in the cup final. You look at Martinez. He loved it, the way he went at Erik ten Hag. And them young players. There is a core bunch of players there what only needs adding to. And the people around Erik ten Hag know that. And that's what the fans see. They can see what's coming if one or two, say like 3 players got added, possibly 4. I'm looking at 2 centre-halves, a centre-forward, but I am definitely now looking at a left full-back, right, to start for the season. But I see everyone looking at it. Everyone's happy. But the players, there's a core group of players there, and that crowd knows it, and the United fan base knows it. There's possibly, if the right players, and Erik ten Hag's back this summer by bringing in a few players, okay, there is a possibility things can build. So that's my hope. But I'm looking at things, and I hear the United fans. They can see something's there.
Maddie School, last video you said that Erik ten Hag should be sacked. What changed your mind? I don't think them words have actually come out of my mouth, your mouth. But if you can find any video where even me or my dad say that Erik ten Hag should be sacked, send me your address by email and I'll send you out a free signed shirt, a Manchester United shirt by one of the players. Yeah. So if you find that, you let us know.
What you're mistaking, you're not listening. You're not listening proper. I said that at the end of the day, it looks like Erik ten Hag's a dead man walking when you look and interview other managers.
Well, it's based on what you were talking about in the last video. It was based on the report by Matt Lawton in terms of Sir Jim Ratcliffe meeting Tuchel in Monaco on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
And he was then talking about how his position could come untenable.
Yeah.
Because of that. And the lack of respect then the players might have for him, all the other stuff that goes on around it.
From that report from Matt Lawton there, to me, it said Erik ten Hag's place is untenable. Okay. And at the end of the day, I've never seen anything like that before in my life. And I did say at the end of it, I never, ever, and I've never said it, okay, anywhere that I wanted Erik ten Hag out at any time. I have always been steadfast behind him, like lots of people on this channel have. And I've supported my opinions, okay? I don't always get it right, but never, ever have I said I want Erik ten Hag out. The situation, what arose on Monday, pointed to it's Erik ten Hag's got to hit the road. At the end of the day, I did say the only way that Erik ten Hag can be the manager is if it's the greatest PR by Sir Jim Ratcliffe and brings him back and gives him an extended contract. And that's exactly how it's happening. And I am shocked like everyone else is, especially after that Monday when it was talking to other managers.
All we need now is a few transfers.
Yeah, a few, come on, 2, 3, 4 transfers. We want this, we want that, but we're not going to get that. We're not going to get that. You know what I mean?
Up there 1 second, down there the next.
Yeah, going on about Erik ten Hag being sacked and that, I think when you look at what's gone on over the last 3 weeks, have been completely wasted. I think the review, what was being talked about straight after the cup final, I think that was a smokescreen for Sir Jim Ratcliffe to go out there. And this is my honest opinion, okay? I actually think Sir Jim Ratcliffe thought, right, well, we're going to get beat in the cup final. There's no problem here. Can get rid of him. And then he's had to come up with something. I honestly think he thought if United get beat, which he thought they would do, that's how I see it. Okay, I might be wrong. Okay. A lot of United fans out there. How many United fans out there? I told people we're going to win that cup final. And there was only a handful out of thousands what said, right?
Most of them on this channel did as well in the chat, to be fair.
That's right.
Everyone did have the belief and the positivity that week with us.
Yeah,
we all stuck together.
So my belief is Erik ten Hag was geared up for Man United losing that cup final, and then it would have been nice and easy to get rid of him and then go look for other managers. Because the pressure, the media, the way it was from the Friday night the way through was Erik ten Hag sacked. It would never have stopped. Okay, there was no reason the media could see that Erik ten Hag had a position at Manchester United after being slaughtered by Manchester City, because that was the narrative.
Do you think, obviously, that report what's shown up with Ornstein his contract looking at being extended.
Yes.
Do you think there'll be a pay rise in that as well? Because I think, don't get me wrong, some of you out there might already know, but I think he's the second or the third highest paid manager in the Premier League. I think he's Arteta in second, then Pep Guardiola, so he's on a few quid already, really.
No, I don't think I don't see him getting a pay rise because there's a lot of work to do. I think it's the next contract after that. If he's a success at Manchester United, you've got to remember, you know, if he went anywhere else, he wouldn't be on the same money as he is at United. And the thing is,
good point.
He had the opportunity because it was offered him, okay, to go to Ajax, and the Ajax chairman kept that position open as long as possible. So there was always possibilities there. There was always a conversation, right?
He talks with Bayern Munich as well. It was in the papers, you know.
But there was talk.
They were interested in him as well.
Well, they were talking to everyone. So there was an opportunity there. But the Ajax job was on the cards for him. All he had to do was acknowledge that he was coming and he was away. But he stood. Erik ten Hag wants to do this job. He's committed to it. He's a winner. That's what he says he is a winner. And I don't think it's anything to do with money. And I don't think he's bothered about that. I think he just wants backing with a new contract, an extended contract, which gives him the authority. And to be honest with you, I think Erik ten Hag might have a little bit more authority, right, inside this club than Sir Jim Ratcliffe really wanted to give him. And I think he might have had to sort of give way here. He might have to give way here a little bit, as if to say, I got it wrong. I hold my hands up. By the way, you do that. We'll leave that with you.
I'm sure more facts will come out on what's really gone on in the last few weeks, maybe in a distant future at some point, as we always do. But Lee Moss says they need to give him some good signings and squad depth now. Do you think a lot of emphasis?
They have to back him.
Yeah, but do you think, I still get the feeling that there'll be still a big emphasis on bringing like the youth through from the academy setup?
Listen, that's on the cards. We always have youth coming through, okay? Yeah. And I think
there'll be more of an emphasis, though, like there's not been, even in recent years gone by.
I think this year there'll be a gap to introduce youngsters. I think what's needed is proper professionals out there, right, at the top of the game. That's what's needed. We've already got a core group of youngsters, and I think maybe the following year that them youngsters might come through. You can't have youngsters coming in 3, 4 each year. It doesn't. Well, I've never seen it work. Only in '92. Do you know what I mean? The class of '92. But no, I think he has to go out there. He's done what he's done with the squad, with the injuries and everything, bringing youngsters through. And I think it's now time to bring in some of them players, quality players in them positions, what are needed. But I will also say Erik ten Hag needs to get rid of quite a few players what are already there. And 1 or 2 of them players, right, what he signed, and definitely Anthony has come over here. And I did like him, and I've said it before. I liked the fellow when he come here. I thought he was going to like get the crowd on the feet. I thought he was going to do wonderful things.
Like he had that personality. You thought he'd be able to lift the crowd, get him off the seat.
I thought he was a shoo-in for being a good player here, an exciting player. But he clearly, over the last 6 months, I've changed my mind 100% completely on him. Right, he is not equipped, right, on and off the field for this football, for the Premier League.
It's like he just wants to fall out with everyone. He just has like that attitude, that demeanour, as though like he's just ready for the fight, just walking around angry.
Well, I did say the other week, I look at him, and I look at his personality, the best I can from the position I'm in, and I look at him and I think, you're one angry man, and he's angry man at all things, on and off the pitch. But at the end of the day, he is not good enough, right, for the Premier League. His price tag and all that.
Big statement that, though, saying he's not good enough for the actual Premier League, never mind Manchester United. You know, one good summer down him, you know, a bit of rest and recuperation, gets back into training, maybe doing some own individual personal work, and then new season comes.
No, I go back. We've had another signing there. Donny van der Beek, come from the same club, Ajax.
Donny van der Beek
absolutely failed here. Just cannot handle the Premier League. And you also got to go, there you go, Sancho as well. So there's 3 players what cannot handle the Premier League, what have to be gotten out of this club. And that's why one of the things I was wanting Erik ten Hag to stay was to deal with all this. how another manager could have come in my opinion, this summer and dealt with all that and then got a successful team flying is beyond me. And why Sir Jim Ratcliffe even thought that that could happen is also beyond me. But hey, it's a misstep and we move on.
Anything more to add?
I just want, going forward, everyone has to be positive, okay? We know what the situation with the club is. We know there's still some deadwood there. But at the end of the day, he has to be back, the manager. If they don't back the manager, okay, then it's bang out of order, okay? For him to succeed, and the haters out there, and especially the United fans who are the haters, okay, just get a grip, do what you're supposed to do as a fan. It's changing. They've made missteps in EOS, but they'll get better. That's what we hope. They've given it 3 years, and let's see in 3 years' time if they've actually got there.
So let's thank everyone for joining us in today's chat. It's been absolutely popping off, some great comments in there. Just as I say that, Paul, cheers for your super chat as well, my mate.
Thank you.
And if you've enjoyed today's video, you want to help support the channel, smash a like on it, and we'll be back tomorrow with another Manchester United chat. So get that notification on, and we'll see you all tomorrow. You all take care, and see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.